Titties.
What?
What?
Well, okay. The vampire guy, the Bone Temple.
Straight to Redbox.
Huh. Welcome back to Popcorn and Beers. We've got your drunk classic, I Love You, Beth Cooper, and of course, the butter on top, the Sinner. Welcome back to your favorite uncle's favorite scary movie review, sometimes but not always, not exclusive to podcast, Popcorn and Beers, where some use tomatoes and others use thumbs. We use the stuff that truly gets you drunk.
Truly, you get it because he's holding it truly.
What is it? What was the Key and Peele? Keegan-Michael Key? Do what you truly feel. Remember those ads that were around for like ever?
Lame.
All right, guys. So we had a good butter on top, and I got one name to say. Haley Steinfeld. Damn. All right, I was not expecting that out of Haley and her past roles, and she came with it hard in this movie. And in a lot of scenes, I felt like she jumped off the screen more than even Michael B. Jordan. And granted, his character was kind of understated, a little bit lower key as far as how he was playing it through most of the movie, more like smooth, cool, what's the word I'm looking for here, Josh? Speakeasy.
Suave.
Yeah, speakeasy, suave mobster
Doc Holliday.
going on. Yeah, but Haley just came at you with some lines. She had some lines, and I was like, okay, all right. Yeah. This is how she's gonna play it. So Josh, you have thoughts. Jordan, you have research, and I just have my review. So let's start with both of you. Josh, go ahead.
Well, let me tell you something. Movie of the year, calling it.
Right now?
Calling it movie of the year. That was something exceptional. That was a special movie. I loved this movie. I loved the cool camera work. They did a small little oneer in there. I love it when a movie clearly defines which act you're in. Like, oh, we're in a whole different movie now. Boom, set it up, knock it down. Boom, they killed it, dude. It was beautiful. It was historic. I don't know about the authenticity of everyone's southern accent, but it felt real. It was charming.
Mississippi. I think Mississippi is more like this. It's more like Mississippi, like that.
It was like you got molasses coming out your mouth.
That's Georgia.
Yeah, I know. I was just talking like Andy from Office.
The Office, yeah.
Boy, I tell you what, you're talking about Haley Steinfeld. Yes, correct. But just about everybody jumped out here. I think, despite his huge catalog, Delroy Lindo,
yeah.
One of his best performances. Really good.
He's so believable as at least partially drunk. The entire movie.
Yeah, and he transformed his whole thing. It was man, this thing was good. This was a good movie. Stop saying that so much, Josh. I can't. I put this up there with, I've said it before, how, when I first saw Kill Bill, that knocked my socks off. This is Tarantino-esque level of banging-ass movie. This is a popcorn and three.
Dusk Till Dawn style.
Very much a Dusk Till Dawn style. But on the note of...
different, but similar.
Of course. And Ryan Coogler, the director, he even says that. Yeah, rightfully so. This is a Dusk Till Dawn type of engine. But on the note of Tarantino, piss off, bud. Talking about movies are dead. Shut the hell up, dude.
He's that old guy, Josh. Tarantino has become that old. Get off of my lawn. Things were so much better in my... Shut up. New people can come along and be good.
Yeah, I know that there's trash. Guess what? There's trash every year of movies. Yeah. There's always trash. But this was not. This was a golden pony, dude. Man, I would watch this again and again. Yeah. All the symbolism, the parallels. I can't spoil a whole lot, but just so everyone knows, this is a vampire flick, okay? That's not too much of a spoiler. I think you should know that by now, but if you don't, then whatever.
Till dawn. That should
so it's a vampire flick. But it's also historic. It has huge ties to the black community, black culture. I love the musical numbers.
The music was awesome.
It was so unexpected and like, holy crap. And like they have in the juke joint, they have that scene. And then right after we have the singing outside. And I love the similarities of like in the energy, like, oh yeah, totally different style. But also like, you know, it has like a homogenization thing where it's like, hey, maybe we're all not so different after all. And that's part of the overarching plot theme stuff. I love how the main vampire's like motivation in the end, the line, "I want your songs." That was great. The mid-credit, post-credit thing, like the real ending of the movie, that was beautiful. Beautiful aspect of like that final part, best day of my life, that whole thing, all that was good. The scenery was good. It was very like sexually around, but there was not an ounce of nudity.
He said around, and I thought he was going to say aroused. That he had that long, that Jordan had last week, that long AR.
Yeah, I don't know what the wordage is there, but it was a very sexual movie, but it did it so tastefully. There wasn't one boobie, right? So, not that I always like to see a boobie now and then, but like... I'm just saying, like, it was a very sexual movie, but they did it so tastefully and it fit all together and, like...
I would say you're trying to say it was sexually charged. There was a
sexually charged, yes. But it was part of it was part of it. And, man, I just loved every character. They all came alive. I love how, like, when she's like, "Come on in, mother effers!" Like, "Oh, it's time, let's go!" Man... I really, really love this movie. Popcorn in 3.
Yeah.
The girl's an orphan now, just so everybody knows.
Yeah, because her mom is stupid. Oh my god.
So Jordan, go ahead. Josh gave it a pop 3. We're on to you.
This is definitely a popcorn in 3 movie. Just looking at the cast here, there's only 10 people billed on like the Google cast thing, which is kind of weird, but everybody killed it. Omar Benson Miller, who is the big guy from like Everything Ever. He was fantastic. Yeah.
He went to take a piss 2 days ago.
Seen a man about a dog. Movie Musaku, who you've seen from, and this, she definitely made me, this whole theme, the whole aesthetic of it, made me miss the show Lovecraft Country that we never got a season 2 of.
I agree.
Which, maybe the early letdown was better than what has turned into, getting on a tangent here. Jonathan Majors, we would have never gotten probably a season 3 or 4 due to his issues. But yeah, she was in this, so definitely brought me back to that kind of feeling. The newcomer, Miles Catan, he's an R&B singer. His acting debut absolutely destroyed it, killed it. He was excellent in this. I can't wait to see more of him and stuff. Haley Steinfeld definitely coming in strong, just shaking off those the Disney Channel girl funk.
She's gonna catch an Oscar in 10 years or less.
Yeah, I'm married to the best MVP of the NFL. What you want to say now? Kind of thing.
She's getting everything, man. She's got, she's already been nominated. Remember, she was nominated for True Grit. So it's crazy that she's come from True Grit to this. Because in True Grit, she got nominated for playing the little girl. And in this, she is grown.
Yeah, she grown. I watched it with my brother. He said the same thing. Like, I just watched Hawkeye last week, and like, it's weird. She was a little kid, and now she's like a woman. And it was beautiful that she's grown into that. Like, she can do whatever she wants now. Like, she's what's up.
Yeah. There was like a subtlety with the vampires that they were kind of working with at the beginning. Like, they're very, very charming and all that. This guy Jack O'Connell was like scary. Super creepy, super scary. He's been in a lot of stuff. He's the guy Vince something from Invincible, that movie, or Unbroken. Sorry, Unbroken, that they came out with, where he's like the guy that gets captured.
The Angelina Jolie produced.
Yeah.
Was he the soldier in Unbroken?
Yes, he's the lead guy. He's the lead guy. Most recently he played Amy Winehouse's love interest in the Fade to Black, Back to Black movie.
Wow, I reviewed that. I didn't recognize him. How about that?
I know, yeah. He's very low key. But yeah, this movie was awesome. The action at the end that you get, like, you think it's over, but they really give you that full closure ending that you really, really want. Like, in every
it's like
aspect.
the opposite. You've been talking. You guys have both reviewed movies recently that are like it had 7 endings and none of them were great. This one had 2 good endings.
Yeah.
Man, it gives you another Tarantino, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood style, or not Inglourious Bastards style ending here with Sinners. And if you've seen Inglourious Bastards, we could talk about it when we cut this review, and we'll all have a dialogue on that, and Josh can decide as he's editing what can go to air. But Jordan, as you continue to review, it reminded me what they decided to go with in the second ending. Reminded me of what Tarantino did in Inglourious Bastards by essentially changing history to give us all what we wanted. Like, we want this. Do it.
Even Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Like them flamethrowering everybody that, part of the Sharon Tate murder thing. But yeah, the music numbers, the big main kind of symbolic scene that they have with the going through the generations and all that stuff, that was a really kind of like a dangerous reach that they were kind of doing there. Like that could have been received like, but it
was like, oh, it's almost corny. It's almost corny.
Yeah.
Nope.
No, it really, really worked the way that they did it.
I'm on the fence still. I need to watch it again. I'm not going to lie. Like, so it's funny that you guys said it was on the fence or it was almost, for me, I was sitting in the theater, and sometimes now I kind of love what we do. And sometimes I hate it. I'm not going to lie. Like, I love this podcast. I love this show. I love watching film. I love reviewing it. And I love listening to your guys' perspective. What I hate about it now is I couldn't fully sink into that scene, because as I'm watching it, I'm sitting like, do I like this? Or do I not like? And and I'm judging it, and I don't think I wanted to. I think I just wanted to be in it. Does that make sense?
Yeah. For sure.
No, yeah, I definitely feel like at first it's very...
catches you off guard, dog.
Catches you super off guard, yeah. Definitely. Like, you're not ready for that in that moment.
The fact they led with like a George Clinton-esque guitar guy, like, whoa, hold on now.
Wait, what? Like, I thought they were going to go into a whole other direction. I was like, oh, new movie.
Yeah. Who is that guy?
The costume design is in trouble.
Yeah. But that whole scene and like the concept, the magic of that was a beautiful thing, and in a way a new kind of motivation for a vampire type. And like, they didn't do a whole lot of new stuff with vampires in this. It was all good, but like, this was like that's cool. That's a nice agenda for the bad guy to have.
Yeah, and the whole I have one criticism, but I really don't like this. It's still a popcorn and 3 movie, like completely solidly. Is like the lore that they introduce at the beginning of the movie, and the exposition kind of that they give you, like, oh, there are people that can sing music that raises the dead and blah blah blah, and then it very quickly, like without much work, they're just kind of like, oh, that's not that, it's vampires.
Yeah.
No, it's vampires. I've never dealt with vampires before, but they're vampires. Like, it's just, it's it's a little lazy, but it's fine. It's fine. Popcorn and 3 for sure.
Popcorn and 3.
So this has so many metaphors filtered or littered, throughout this movie that you've got to keep up. I've got to watch it again, and I've got to have the pause button available. Like, I need to pause it. I need to say, let me read what the symbolism was here, and there was a lot of it. And what I got was a lot of swagger jacking. There's a lot of swagger jacking going on, and Coogler was calling it out. And he was calling it out in a way that said, hey, look inside this juke. Look at all these cultures, all these ethnicities bringing themselves together through dance, through song, not trying to steal from each other, but trying to utilize this culture to uplift one another through difficult times. And then, meanwhile, here comes, you know what he is, and he wants to get inside, but he doesn't just want to get inside to be a part of the party. He wants to get inside to steal their songs.
Right, but that was multi-leveled too. Yeah, this could have easily become like a white-black thing, but it was more than that, like you're saying. Yeah,
and on top of that, the vampires. Here's take from this what you want, but the vampire is a symbol for. There is a type of person that doesn't want to be a part of the party. They want to suck the life out of a culture and steal what it has to offer, and that's what the vampires symbolize to me. Is they don't want to be a part of this party. They want to steal this party, and they don't just want to steal it. They want to annihilate where it came from, so they can claim that it is theirs now.
It's ours now.
And that was the vampire to me. It wasn't just, hey, we're gonna kill you and you're gonna become one of us. We are going to appropriate your culture through murdering anyone that could say that this is different, new, or symbolizes who you are. And the vampire portion, like I said, is we are going to suck it from your veins. We are going to drain your lifeblood of what it is you have to offer, and it is ours now.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I got from it. That was a strong metaphor to me, the vampire. And the symbolism behind a lot of the verbiage and the dialogue was so strong. Even the sexually charged dialogue. Like the words they chose to express themselves, though some of them may have caught you off guard. Like, oh, I don't know about that. That was strong.
Yeah.
It was meant to hit you.
You had your tongue up my coos.
Yeah. Everybody, you could feel everybody in the theater go, whoa.
Yeah. It was and then she says, so good, you made me see Jesus or something like that. Like, I was like, oh my God, this is a lie. Like, she is dropping bars.
And then, we haven't talked about it. What about Michael B. Jordan playing twins, man?
Yeah.
I still haven't decided that. I still haven't decided if I liked it or I didn't like it. I thought it was good. About
well,
that.
To go back to something I was mentioning earlier, I saw some kind of insider, some studio insider guy tweeting. It was a thing that was being retweeted, saying that this movie was written for Michael B. Jordan and Jonathan Majors to star in together. Originally, Jonathan Majors was going to be like the little brother or something.
I can see that.
And then they had to quickly redo it, and they're like, okay, let's just make it both Michael B. Jordan.
That makes perfect sense. And that would have been a good movie, too. Too bad. Michael, you messed up, Majors, man.
Man, but you got to think about this, too. Yeah, I don't want to get too deep into Majors. Like, that's such a disappointing story. Yeah. Let's talk about the other end of the culture spectrum, the Irish, and the pain that was inflicted on that culture and what it led to. I need to push this pain onto somebody else. Needs to feel this pain, and I'm going to bring them this pain. I'm going to keep somebody down as far as I've been put down. And the songs, the Irish songs, and the jig that he does,
the like Rocky Road to Dublin,
Oh, it was good. It was
that song is about being persecuted by, in that case, the English, the white man, whatever. Yeah.
So it's very insane how one culture could oppress another simply because they were oppressed.
Yeah.
It's such a good movie. It is a popcorn in 3. I think people should see it, and I think you need to see it when it comes out onto streaming or however it is you view your film, so you can pause and just kind of take in and rewind. Like, hold on, let me listen to what was just said, because it hits you. The dialogue hits you. It's coming. Like, they're rattling stuff off. Even the scene in the streets where he's arguing with a couple of men that were trying to steal from him, and he goes, I would never stole it if I'd known it was yours. And she goes, you knew it was his, I told you. Like, that was so classic. Everything was funny about that. Popcorn in 3. Ryan Coogler, thank you so much for bringing this to us. It was fantastic.
Yeah, all day.
On to you, Jordan. We've got to go from a story of perseverance and violence and vampires to I Love You, Beth Cooper.
Yeah, slapstick comedy for the millennial, the late generation millennial kind of thing. This was a high school. I saw this movie in theaters 3 times.
Wow.
Yeah, once with my buddies. One time I snuck into it after coming from another movie. I was like, well, I got time. Just went and saw it. And another time I went on a date, and I loved it. Every single time I watched this movie in theater at that time, I loved it, and mostly that is because of Hayden Panettiere. I love her.
It. She's beautiful.
I absolutely loved her. The dialogue it's just constant jokes. Like I love it. It's for the short attention span for sure. It is constant slapstick, stupid, whatever, gay jokes, ugly jokes, slutty jokes.
Gay jokes, or was it everybody? I think around this time, because this is like, yeah, I mean, we've all known or been around or had a friend that was gay, but we've also always had a friend that we're like, dude, like, come on, like, we don't care, like, just admit it already. And they ended up not being gay, and and there's some stuff there, even though that's not how this one goes. Yeah. That kind of was like, was this around that time where, was this 21 Jump Street too? Was around this time too, right? With Jonah Hill and Channing Tatum, and they have their whole play on it. Bro, it's this year now. Don't you know we don't make fun of that stuff no more? We don't use verbiage like that? Yeah.
I love the opening scene where he's giving the speech. By the way, everybody had that. Did you guys at your high school ceremony have that awkward like student that went up and sang some song in front of everybody?
No, thank God.
Oh, we had the choir sing some Josh Groban song, and the whole thing was like, "What is this?"
Exactly. Nobody ever really wants that. We had ours outside, and it was hella windy. Some girl sang, and all the microphone picked up was just wind the whole time, and everybody's just like, "All right."
Did she sing "Dust in the Wind"? Or?
I don't know. I don't even know what she's saying. And then and this is a line I like to use all the time. Talking about somebody who's in the room going, you know who you are. You. That kills me every single time. The flashbacks are something that can be used poorly in like this kind of comedy movie, but the flashbacks are always gold. Like him's like, what makes you think I was gay? And he flashes back to them thinking he wants to reenact it. Yeah, you know where it goes.
Boners.
Yeah. Just the way that he looks, which if you look up, that's kind of how he looks now. The guy Paul Rust who plays Dennis Cooverman.
Dude, he's the only one that has a consistent like filmography in the whole movie. He's it.
He looks just like his pictures when he was a younger guy. Yeah. Like he's a strange. He was in
Love, right?
Yeah.
What's Love?
Yes.
Yeah. That's what I recognize him from.
I don't recognize him from anything else.
No, Josh, he was in Love.
You would enjoy Love. It's a good movie. Good show.
Okay. He is weird looking. He's very odd, but he's very good in this movie. Playing this kind of spastic, dorky guy. Lauren London is in this, a very, very young. I don't know if this was before. This had to be after ATL, right? I think this was after.
It was before ATL.
Let's see. This came out in 2009. ATL came out in 2006.
Wow.
Okay, so yeah, this was after ATL.
But it was definitely before that Jonah Hill movie.
Not the TV show, the movie ATL. My bad, guys.
Definitely before that Jonah Hill Who's Coming to Dinner movie.
Yes.
For sure. What you guys think about the take on like the army dudes? Like they're all wearing their matching khakis and
stupid. That was so dumb.
I said there's no way he could afford a Hummer on an E2 salary. That's what I put in my notes. I was like, okay. Also, what rich parents letting their kid do that? Second of all, like, he's going to college somewhere and his father paid for a bench. Okay.
This is I don't know. It's a popcorn. It's fun. The popcorn in one, just based off like comedy, slapstick, fun, high school. Even though they all look like they're 35.
Yeah.
I'm gonna sneak it into a popcorn one for me. I really like this movie, but I understand if it's just like a stupid popcorn comedy.
So Sean Roberts is 4 years older than me. He's the Marine guy that's dating Beth Cooper. So for perspective, he's 4 years older than me. This came out in 2009. He graduated from high school. He's playing a 19-year-old. Okay, he's 19 in this. Also, do you understand what 19-year-olds look like in the military? Anyway.
Yeah. He had like 60 pounds of muscle on anyone in the military at that age.
Yeah, so I'm thinking in 2009, I was 21. So he was 25 when he played a 19-year-old.
Yeah. Popcorn, I snuck it into a popcorn and one.
Yep.
Pop and one. Josh, what did you think?
You know, I'd never seen this, and I knew the title, and I just assumed, like, this is a movie that's not for me, because I was already past the rom-com age, mostly, the teen rom-com thing for me. But you know what? I watched it at the old age of almost 40, and I got no complaints. It was pleasant as shit. It wasn't, like, absolutely hilarious, like I would have thought maybe when I was 19 or whatever, but, like, I enjoyed just about all of it. It was fun. The corny parts were fine. It was like, why not? That's fine. It wasn't too much of any one thing.
Really?
And
the towel whipping fight was not too much.
Well, the towel whipping fight, that was, I mean, it was all like corn, but like the flashback scene brought it home for me. Like that was like out of nowhere. Like, sure.
Backstory, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they did a good job with flashbacks, like you say. Like they bring it in real quick, and then that's done. And I don't know. I really think the whole thing was pleasant. I sneak it into a popcorn and one as well. They did a really cool with like bringing a lot of old teen movie actors into it. You know, Ferris Bueller dude was in it. Dude from Freaks and Geeks was in it. Like a lot of people who were just like, yeah, let's just bring the old alumni back, you know? And it was all ridiculous. It was stupid. It was like, this is not what real school is. Who cares? You know? I mean, this was at a time when teenagers were the number one people buying movie tickets. That's not so much anymore, but yeah, it was fun. Popcorn one.
Principal of the high school was a doctor. And she was fine.
Yeah, you recognize her from Wedding Crashers?
No, weird
Step Brothers.
Yeah. Her
Weird,
flashback scene.
Yeah, the acne.
Weird, no. The guy goes, "You have weird nipples."
Yeah.
Yeah. But it was goofy. Like it reminds me like of some stuff like Without a Paddle was kind of in this.
Yeah. There you go.
That movie.
Where it's like it's so sweet that you kind of just shrug it off. It's just sweet.
Lots of National Lampoons-esque humor in the film. Opening a bottle with your teeth. Ugh. Ugh. I hate it. Yeah. I hate it. You're gonna rip the gums off your mouth, and
if you're bad at it.
Yeah, and I am, and I'm never gonna do it because I like my gums not sliced open. Maybe I want a glass of OJ in the morning. I don't know, without stinging sensations shooting through my entire body because it connects your nerves. That's your spine. Anyway, the Hummer on an E2 salary was ridiculous. I love the broke man's Justin Long, or as Josh referred to him, the guy from Freaks and Geeks.
He'd be excellent on this show.
He's absolutely broke man's Justin Long, 100%. Like he is doing Justin Long better than Justin Long does Justin Long. There's a lot of one-liners. What's that?
Are we talking about the friend or the other guy?
No, the friend. He
guy.
Looks like Justin Long.
Yeah.
He speaks like Justin Long.
He's not the kid from Hereditary, is he?
No. He's
Okay.
from like nothing else ever.
Okay.
Jack
like
Carpenter. His name is Jack Carpenter. I do love the scene that he's in also, though. Hello, it was a threesome. In the corner. She's got some funny one-liners throughout the movie. She's like, of course I know how to use them, just not sober.
Yeah. She walked so that Mean Girls girl could run.
Which one from Mean Girls? Not Lacey Chabert, not Rachel McAdams.
She could tell the weather by her boobs.
You're talking about
Mamma Mia?
Yeah. Hey, God, her name is
Amanda Seyfried.
Seyfried, yeah.
Thank you. Seyfried. Yeah, her. But anyway, she was really funny in it. I love you, Beth Cooper. It is a. I'll give you a popcorn one. I will slide this into that. The funniest is the parents, though. The parents are hilarious. His dad just has a box of Trojan Magnums on the side, like in his side drawer. He's wearing Spider-Man underwear. Just all the jokes that are going on.
Yeah,
constantly.
it was more cute than hilarious, but like I said, it's fine.
Yeah, no, I love the sliding of the cell phone into his mother's. Anyway, it was a funny movie. We're going to go ahead and give this one a popcorn and one across the board, and we're going to run straight into Josh's arms for what he was watching this week.
You want some hot garbage after all this positive reviews? I watched, after years of, not like a long time, because it was like 2019, 2020, but I've been wanting to watch this movie. And I'm so sad that I watched this movie. Yeah. The Jesus Rolls. Have you heard of this, Jordan?
No.
Nope.
Okay.
No.
Well, this in here is John Turturro. He's the guy from Severance. He is the Jesus in The Big Lebowski, the bowler who licks the bowling ball.
John Turturro's been in a lot. He's also Carmine in Batman.
Yeah. He's the guy who gets his head blown up in Men in Black and grows it black.
Yeah. Very, very sneaky. From Mr. Deeds.
Right. He's a great character actor. Yeah. But he writes, directs, and stars in this, playing an offshoot character from Big Lebowski. It has nothing else attached to it besides the Coen brothers signing off on it. They don't have any involvement in it. And nothing else is involved in it. What is this movie, dude? Man, it's like a road trip movie, and I've said before on this show that I love a movie where nothing really happens, like Burn After Reading, The Men Who Stare at Goats, kind of Napoleon Dynamite. Like, nothing really happens, and I love a movie that can do that well. This does not do that well. Nothing happens. There's no ending. Why did I watch this? This made me angry. So it's a movie that John Turturro's been trying to make for a while. It made the Coen brothers say no for years and years, but finally they're like, fine, have your movie. It got poor budgets, but it was like a lot of actors did him a favor to be in it. Susan Sarandon has a part, John Hamm has a part, Christopher Walken has a part. For some reason, who's the guy who has sex with everyone? Pete Davidson has a part. But they all have, like, a quick 10 minutes, and then they're gone. They're like, moving on, next. But they're just doing Grand Theft Auto, like, let's steal the car and keep driving, dude. And, like, there's no agenda, there's no mission, there's no goal.
That was a Big Lebowski joke for the audience. He said, dude, but dude isn't actually in the film.
Right. But what is from Big Lebowski is the Jesus... In Big Lebowski, the Jesus has like 4 lines total or whatever. He says every line from Big Lebowski in this movie just to let you know, like, hey, I'm the guy from that movie. I'm that character. Yeah. But boy, this was like extremely sexually charged and for no reason.
Look at his bodysuit from the Big Lebowski, dog.
Right. So, like, he's just coming out of prison. He tries to have sex with his best friend. His best friend's like, no, stop trying. But they both share. There's this woman they travel with for a while. They both share her, and there's like a whole scene with that. Which there's actually one funny part where the sex scene in that was kind of funny. This has a few little parts that are like, this is a pretty cool scene, but it has nothing to do with anything. This is a popcorn movie. Don't watch it. Don't watch this. Don't.
Speaking of don't watch it, let me review Armor with Sylvester Stallone. So we're down this hot garbage tunnel like we're in Star Wars, and Han is trying to escape a trash compactor. It is garbage, and it's oozy and gross, and there's something swimming around in it that's going to eat your legs. It's called Bad Movie. That's what's swimming around, and it's going to eat your legs. And we're going to get to leg eating later when I review Warfare. But
Armor.
Terrible gallows humor joke that we're going to have to get to. Oh, I wish I didn't make it. Josh, go ahead and cut that one out.
There's no cannibalism in Warfare?
So, Armor is so heavy-handed from the very beginning, which is where Josh just stopped watching it. So I'm so happy he decided to not review it, so I get to.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they're like, hey, the director's like, hey, you're an alcoholic, and we're going to figure out a way to make sure the audience is aware that you're an alcoholic. And he said, okay, make sure you get 17 shots that there's alcohol in this bottle at all times. And then when I'm in my AA meeting, make sure you zoom in on the bottle so they all know I'm giving an Alcoholics Anonymous speech. I'm the teacher, and I've got alcohol in that bottle, and you know it because I hide it in an orange juice container in a house where I'm the only one that lives there. Because that makes fucking sense. Who are you hiding it from, guy? You live alone because your wife died. Your son is a grown-ass man and you have no kids. Who are you hiding in the orange juice from? Also, what if a kid drinks some orange juice? That's a surprise there, Skip. Anyway, it's a bad movie. And let me just give you an example of some CGI.
No orange juice in there.
Don't drink that.
And I think if you do like just actual like dialogue time, Sylvester Stallone's probably in this movie for 5 minutes. But like shots, he's in it quite a bit. Like, oh, look who also is in this movie. Back to the dialogue. Now, the CGI. Does it look like bullets are hitting the screen right now? Does that what it looks like? My hand's still far away from the camera, right? So the bullets, when there's CGI in the bullets, they never actually hit the truck if you're paying attention. The CGI bullets just explode. Like, haha, joke bullets! Like, that's what it was. And you were watching it, these bullets are literally exploding. Like, white dust, white phosphorus is flying from these fake artificial bullets. And you're sitting here like, are we joking? And does it get worse? Yeah, it does, guys. Are you ready for this? It gets worse. The CGI gets even worse because the van falls in water. And how do we make a van fall in water on budget? We CGI it because that'll be cheap. Anyway, they have to climb out of the top of this armored vehicle as it sinks to the bottom of a lake. It takes about 2 years to sink to the bottom of this lake because the dad needs time to lift somehow the cage that has fallen on his son's foot off of his son's foot. And yes, Josh, I am doing what you say where I give the entire plot of the movie because it sucks. Anyway, so the CGI, they instead of swimming out of the roof that is now underwater, they're lifting themselves up so you can clearly see the water's being CGI'd into the sea because they're physically pulling themselves out of a truck as if it is still right side up. And they're just like, anyway, the hair on their arm, perfectly still, not floating in water, not moving.
Breathing heavily.
It was insane to me. Like, the CGI'd water was crazy to me. It's like you standing on the other side of the fish tank saying, "Do you think I'm in the fish tank?" It was so bad. There's so many plot holes throughout. They think they tie them all up, and then they have the nerve to make it look like there might be a sequel. There's not going to be a sequel. It was terrible.
Yeah.
All right, so for Armor on Amazon, we're going to go ahead and give this a popcorn kernel, but the burnt one that no one wants to eat.
We need a prequel for the orange juice container.
So, I'll go, Josh. Warfare. I shouldn't have made that gratuitous joke. Here's the thing. Jordan did not let us know what a brutal movie this is. And yeah,
I did.
Yes, I did. And here's the thing. Josh and I both served. We both had to do all kinds of combat skills training. Before you deploy, you have to do that stuff. You have to do self-aid buddy care. So some of this stuff I was watching, I was like, yeah, you got to tourniquet that. That is where his femoral artery is, and that sucker is going to bleed out. You just got to let your buddy know he has lost a leg. It is gone. And you see it, and it's I'm never watching it again. I've already told you guys. This is a popcorn and 2 movie. It's very good. No one really stands out. The captain in it is actually in a show I'm going to review later, Daredevil Born Again. And it was, man, you feel for all these people. You remember the quote, wars are fought by young, poor men and women now, and they're started by old, rich men. And it's you see that here again, and it's just like, come on, man. when you watch stuff like this, how can you glorify something like war? And that's why we call it gallows humor, because we're laughing at shit to get through the sadness of what we actually experience. And some of us, though we didn't experience that is an extreme part of what war is. You experienced other things, and they did a decent job. The actors did a really good job. I don't think this is going to be a huge release or a huge movie. I don't think it's going to make a ton of money. It's very hard to watch. That's what we will say as far as Warfare was. And we're going to end this review on a positive note. Josh, I don't think you should ever watch it. We're going to end this review on a positive note, though. Josh, it was Call on Me that they were all watching when Jordan was like, yeah, they're all like, whoa, whoa. And I was like, I saw the year, and it said 2006. I was like, it's going to be Mother Bleep Call on Me. It's going to be it. And then sure enough, the lady walks out with the stereo, and I'm like, it's Call on Me! It's Call on Me! Yeah, yep. And I was like, dude, the accuracy of that scene, because that was my introduction to active duty after I got out of tech school, was a bunch of dudes sitting in the day room staring at the TV that was up there watching the Call on Me video with Eric Prides.
That's beautiful. That's a beautiful thing.
It was very accurate. Josh, what's your next review?
Oh, I just caught something flippantly. It was on TV. I watched Jumanji, The Next Level. That's Jumanji Tumanji, an electric boogaloo with Kevin Hart, Aquafina, Danny DeVito, sort of, and, blah, 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 blah. We might have reviewed this, I'm sure, on the show. I've seen it once before. It was fine. Popcorn and one. It was nice to see Jack Black. Now with his new Minecraft fame, he's on a new echelon of big, and halfway problematic, because most of the movie he's doing a black accent, but it wasn't too racist. You know what I mean? I don't know.
That movie never needed to be made.
Never.
It's fine.
Yeah,
it's
they're
fine.
making a third one.
Right.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah. It never needed to be made, but they did okay with it. It was okay enough to where it's like, all right, fine, that was fine.
Yeah.
Because Danny DeVito, like the Rock doing Danny DeVito's character or whatever, that was fine. It was fine. And Kevin Hart doing Danny Glover's character, okay, sure. It was fine. The whole thing was fine. Popcorn.
Popcorn, okay.
And popcorn.
I watch small things like these. I watch small things like these. Cillian Murphy's follow-up to Oppenheimer. I think it was a passion project for him, because it is an Irish film, and it's talking about a place called... What was it called?
Ireland.
No, it's a special church-run program where people would send women that had kids that were by themselves or out of wedlock, and or too young. And it looks like in this film, it was a hard film to place. It was good acting. Cillian's always going to be a good actor, but I'm watching. I'm like, okay, what is going on? He's bullied. Is he getting bullied because his mom is this? Is he getting bullied because of the guy that he lives with? Is that guy doing bad things to him as a young boy? What is happening? It was hard to place it, and then it turns out this is all about this church group that would take in young women or be given young women that were having babies out of wedlock or having babies without a father. And they were abusing them on some accounts. They were forcing them to clean things daily and to work for no pay and talk down. Basically a slave labor, because they were, considered gross or disgusting or low level.
Unlovable.
And they would not just, it said in the end, this movie is dedicated to the thousands of women that were brought into this institute and all the children that were stolen from them. So apparently they would not only take these women away, but they would take the kids away from the women because they were deemed unfit or unable to have control or parental rights over these kids. So it was a tough watch at the end, but it's really hard to understand. I don't think that the direction or the dialogue within this film, the storyboard, was done correctly, because I'm watching this, I'm like, what exactly is this about? Like, I'm interested. It's being acted well. But what is it about? And you don't really get it until the end, when the end credits roll and it tells you, like, hey, this film is dedicated to these women and the babies that were stolen from there. You're like, oh, that's what it was about? Like, okay. Like, I got that she was in trouble and there was something going on with this young lady that's part of the story. Yeah. But I didn't know that that's what it was. Like, I could have used some explanation there about what I was watching. So for that, I'm going to go ahead and give Small Things Like These popcorn in 1, and I could see why it had such a short-lived release in the theaters. Okay. Cillian, you know what the rule of the Oscars is. Adrian Brody notwithstanding, you get 3 movies to choose to do after you win an Oscar. And those 3 are going to decide, is this guy going to be great forever and be in great films? Or is he going to fall off the face of the earth? This is one that fell you off the face of the earth. You got 2 more. 2 more, Cillian.
Later's one.
What's that?
28 years later is going to be.
Is
one
he
of
in
those. Yeah, I believe so.
I don't think he's
Isn't he in the original?
Yeah, I think they're bringing him back.
Wow.
Okay, so I did Daredevil Born Again, and I've got a public service announcement for this Popcorn in 1 show. It was not bad, but stop taking the hero's powers away! Stop it!
We already did that. He already had a season where his powers went away.
Oh no, my powers!
I hate it so. I didn't tune in. You got me so shook. I didn't tune in to Daredevil to watch how good Matt Murdock is at being a lawyer. Okay?
I lost my mojo.
I didn't want to see. Yeah, I didn't want to see SVU Daredevil unit. Like, I didn't want that. Okay? And you forced me to watch it for 5 episodes, 6 episodes before in a 9-episode season.
Wow, 6 episodes.
It's a lot. Now, luckily for you, Vincent D'Onofrio is a badass and carries it for a while, and we get a lot of him in it. You do not get a ton of Bullseye, which is a letdown because it leads you to believe you're going to get a ton of Bullseye. You get a different villain, who I'm not going to spoil it for you, and they do a pretty good job, and he carries it through till about episode 6. They did just enough to keep you in. And I will tell you, in episode 4, when we get the reveal of the character we get the reveal of, and we find out he's back, and he's back for a season of his own coming up soon, you're like, whoo, I missed him playing this character. And
Daddy's home, baby.
He crushes it. And episode 8 had some of the most beautiful direction I've seen in a very long time. Episode 8, again, so if you guys remember back to the Netflix series, there's the first episode where John Barenthal's Punisher and Daredevil get into a fight. John Barenthal gets put on a tombstone by Daredevil, by Charlie Cox, and he's going through this monologue about his children being murdered. And he's, what is he does the nursery rhyme, 1 shoe, 2 shoe, whatever, and he goes through it, and I'm like, they need to allow comic book movies and shows to get nominated for awards, because John Barenthal playing the Punisher in this role, and I'm hoping Batman keeps opening this up, because Batman keeps getting nominated for things. We just saw it again with Colin Farrell's Penguin winning an award. Okay, so you gotta open it up, because John Barenthal as the Punisher is unreal, and he has another episode where he should be nominated. He should be nominated for an Emmy. Now in the finale, finally, these idiots that wear the Punisher symbol and don't understand what it actually stands for get told, and boy, are they going to be pissed when they find out that John Barenthal's Punisher, this is what he's always stood for, boys and girls, in the comic books, but you guys are fucking stupid, and you don't know how to read, and you think, oh, well, I saw a picture of this skull, and I thought it was cool. Learn what this stuff is about, you idiots. Anyway, he literally has a line where he said, I would sooner kill every single one of you mother bleepers. I don't know why I bleepered it after I just cursed, but I did it anyway.
Bleeper!
I would sooner kill every single one of you mother bleepers and watch your brains splatter across these walls than ever join up with you. And there's more. There's more to it. You gotta watch the finale. but he literally rips into what you know he is ripping into in this scene. And if you've seen John Barenthal at his Comic Cons, you know what he stands for as far as all that. He doesn't ever come out and say it like in interviews, but if you watch him interact with fans, like you know what he stands for. And he crushed it in the finale. Crushed it. And he crushes this movement to put a stupid blue line through your Punisher face. Like he crushes it. And that's nothing against your blue line, by the way. It's what people have co-opted the meaning of it for. That's what I'm referring to. The bad people that have co-opted the American flag, have co-opted 1776 and forgot what it actually stands for.
Yeah.
Those people.
And you can't like mix symbols that don't mix. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can't put the blue line and the Punisher flag together. It's stupid. It's just like in Full Metal Jacket when he's got like "Make Love Not War" or he's got the peace thing and he's got "Born to Kill" on his helmet. You know,
it's it really attacks it, and it attacks it in a very creative, artistic way, and I really dug it. Stop co-opting our stuff. Stop it. It's not yours.
Yep. The red pill doesn't mean what you think it means, idiot.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a popcorn and 1. We're gonna roll with it. It was a good show. I think, yes, the popcorn and 1, it could be a popcorn and 2 if you didn't take my damn hero's powers away again. But you did that, and here we are. Are we ready for my drunk classic? Or is that where we're at? Is that the part in the show?
Yeah.
Give me that thing now.
All right, so we're going to watch another Sam Rockwell film from 2009. Oh, same year as I Love You, Beth Cooper. It's called Moon.
Moon.
Have
I seen Moon?
Never seen
starring Sam Rockwell. And just so the audience knows, while Josh discovers whether or not he's seen Moon, I'm off next week. I'm going to be in Iceland. So This is... No go? You haven't seen it yet? Jordan, have you seen Moon?
No.
Didn't he got an Emmy or something for this, right?
No.
Oh. Okay. Well, can't wait.
And Jordan is going to handle your guys' butter on top. So, Jordan, what is the butter on top this week?
Well, speaking of John Barenthal, he is going to be in our butter on top, playing the brother cop good guy in The Accountant 2.
Okay.
The bad guy. He's essentially the Punisher, but in The Accountant. No.
Yeah.
No, something like
John
that.
Barenthal, 3 episodes in a row if you count next week. John Barenthal. We're just.
I've heard him say like, I would love to be in a rom-com, but they just keep giving me a gun.
I appreciate it, and I appreciate all of you. Thank you for joining us each and every week here at Popcorn and Beers. We will see you at the movies. You get the popcorn, we got the beer.